joining us tonight. Obviously, pretty boy Godfrey here. And,
that's nice, thanks.
We've got
Hi.
our defensive.
Jeez.
You know,
Man, I can't take you anywhere.
Yeah, you can't take me anywhere, man. And over to the left here, we've got Coach Aaron Hunter joining us, and we got a new surprise. We're bringing in the girls' side of sports, and we got Coach Janey Phillips joining us tonight. And we're gonna, before we get to the questions, break in the new coaches here.
Janey Weber.
Did I say Phillips?
That's all right. I
The
get it all the
legacy
time.
lives on, but it is Janey Weber.
Sorry, Mr. Weber. He's gonna be watching it.
Wow.
Yes, he is. He's tuning in right now.
Oh, man. Go ahead. Okay.
All right,
That
that's
was.
my one blooper of the season, okay? Don't tell anybody else.
I had one blooper last year that I could not live down all year long. Do you remember that?
Yeah, what was it?
The Megatron. Okay? So just wait.
Josh
Just
called
wait.
Josh called the Jumbotron in a football game the Megatron.
I don't know. It was
I reminded
one
him
time,
every
right?
game after that. He was on the
It's
scoreboard up there. It's like, you
horrible,
mean the
man.
Megatron?
God.
So you can't mess up around us two guys.
No.
We'll let you live it down.
None.
All right, so the note to self, Weber. Okay. So anyway, we're going to get to some question and answers with these two guys here pretty soon. But before we do, as always, we would like to present our players of the week for football as well as volleyball. So we're going to start off with football, and Josh, take it away.
All right, so this week we have our two players are, the first one is Jason DeLong. He's a junior running back. Unfortunately, he is at home doing homework, right? Studying, getting his grades up so he can play strong and all that. So this week Jason had 15 rushes for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, including one for 75 yards and one for 61 yards. And I want to bring something up. I kind of got in trouble with the YouTube people because on both of those runs I was yelling in the press box like an idiot, right? I was so excited.
We just want the folks at home to feel excitement.
I've sat next to the coaches in their coach's office or the coach's booth, and they all yell too. Okay?
There's a lot. There's a lot of that going
It's just a little different because we were on YouTube and the Glen Rose people, they didn't think it was too amusing that I was yelling for the Gatesville touchdown.
The coaches don't have people plugged into the
That's true. We had
sound or
298 listeners and I'm yelling through the microphone. Anyways, 2 touchdowns, one for 75 and one for 61. He also had 2 receptions for 36 yards. That brings his season totals to 31 rushes for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns and 4 receptions for 44 yards. So an awesome performance from Jason, and we want to see some more of it. And
Since he's not here, he gets
okay, good job, Jason. All right. Our next player of the week, he did show up. This is Hayden Mooney. He is a junior free safety. This previous game, he had 20 tackles, 10 solo and 10 assisted, and 1 forced fumble. Now, it's Coach, you could probably attest this. It's never really a great thing for your free safety to have 20 tackles.
Well,
but Terry's, I just called you your father's name. But Hayden's tackles were all attacking, right? He wasn't 10 or 15 yards down the field making tackles, right? And I'll let you elaborate on that a little bit, Coach.
Well, he's a big part of our defense, and he is downhill a lot, and that's why he's playing there because he makes those tackles. So.
Yeah, it's not chasing people.
No,
He's always
it's
attacking.
downhill,
So
it's at the line of scrimmage or close. It's close line.
Absolutely, I agree. And so that brings Hayden's season total tackles to 37 total. He is just 1 behind the team leader Sunshine on that. Okay, so and 1 forced fumble. So great job. Keep up the good work. Love watching you play. Remind me of your dad. Okay, keep it up. Since I called you by your dad.
that you don't want to see that guy making those many tackles, or you keep doing that?
I'll keep doing it, I guess.
I like that. I like
Hey,
that. Let's keep that.
Hey,
Let's keep
Hayden
that
travels with an entourage too, by the way. He's out in his truck. He's got his girlfriend, his brother, and the dog waiting for him impatiently. So, great job, Hayden. Proud of you.
We hope to see you in here on the next couple of shows. Play hard.
Yep.
All right, with that being said, we're going to switch over to the volleyball girls, or should we say women's volleyball?
Doesn't matter.
I've already made my one
You're
blooper.
You're just throwing offenses out everywhere, right? Just keep them to yourself.
Anyway, we do have a couple of young ladies here tonight that I would like to recognize. I've been to the past several games. I wasn't able to make the game last night in La Vega, which we won. Anyway, just saying.
Congratulations.
That
Thank you.
gives us, what, 10-3 now?
10-3.
Wow.
10-3.
Nice.
Woo-hoo. So anyway, the two young ladies that I'd like to recognize, y'all can come over here and see your coach, is Jenna Benskin and Courtney Matthews. Now, here's the reason I chose this. One game we were playing against West, and we were trailing in the game, and young lady Jenna Benskin come up to serve, and she went on a serving streak, backed up by her players, obviously.
Sure.
But not only did we come from behind, but took a commanding lead that went on to win that match. So congratulations to you for your ability on the serve, as well as hustle on the court. Seen her come from the serving position up to the net several times, make some good plays, good bumps, good digs. Proud of you.
Good job.
That's good.
Now the next young lady, I hope you don't take offense to this, but I'm going to call her the beast on the net. Courtney Matthews blocks.
It's a compliment.
It's a compliment.
It's a
But
compliment.
she blocks, spikes, kills. Not only that, but she's got a good head on her shoulders. Sometimes whenever you see a kill shot coming up, she pulls the psych move, gives them a little dink, and you know what? It's a point either way, right?
Okay.
So that's why we were recognizing Jenna Benskin and Courtney Matthews. We appreciate you girls for showing up tonight.
Good job.
Great job, ladies. Great
Good
job.
Good job. See you all here.
Good job.
Dun, 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 dun. With that being said, let's get on into the hot topic here.
Let's go.
All right. Obviously, as we said a little bit earlier, this is Coach Aaron Hunter. He is our defensive coordinator. And back at Gatesville High School this year. Take a moment real quick and just tell the viewers what you've done since graduation, leading all the way up to you being back here this year.
Okay, well, I graduated from here in 2007. And so I left from there, went to University of Mary Harn Baylor, got my undergrad there, and then I went out to Hardin Simmons and got my master's degree, and I was a graduate assistant football team out there on the defensive side. And then I left there, went to Houston, went to 5A school in North Houston, New Caney High School.
New Caney.
Was there for
The
4
railroad
years.
sticks.
Yeah, we were there 4 years and had a lot of fun there, a lot of success. And the last 3 previous years, I was at Belton. So this is kind of full circle coming back home.
Right.
Now, I know New Caney is kind of like in the Houston area,
Yes, sir.
but I know, did you live in New Caney?
We lived actually in Kingwood, which is right next. So it's like Humboldt, Kingwood, New
Anyway,
Caney. Yeah.
Kingwood is like the east side of Woodlands.
It's to me, it all runs together. It's all like
Of course, Orland lives up but being in New Caney, you had to admit, New Caney kind of had a hometown Gatesville feel to it.
It did. It was on the outskirts. It was smaller, and you know we had some success there that they haven't had in a long time. And so it was fun. It was a building process, and being a part of that was definitely something that I enjoyed and always look back on. So.
But you enjoy being back.
Oh, love it. Excited to be back in the hometown.
Yeah. So what does it mean, getting back here to Gatesville and being a defensive coordinator to you?
Oh, it's awesome. Excuse me, coming back here and Coach Howard gave me that opportunity to come back home and the tradition that Gatesville football has in my family. There's 3 brothers, and we all 3 came up through the program. We eat, sleep, lived it, breathed it, and so it's awesome to be back in that locker room, back on that football field. Friday night was special, walking up there and again in McCamey Stadium and Tommy Davidson Field, obviously, and just experiencing that, and excited to try to continue to build and get things rolling our way.
Did you take a moment walking out onto the field, just
I did. I did.
looking at the bleachers, looking at the press box, just looking end zone to end zone?
Well, before the game in the locker room, we're kind of looking around and just all the memories that come up, and then obviously when you walk out there on the field, it's a special place. So.
How does that compare to like your first varsity football game? Because everybody that's ever played here, you can remember the walk up.
Oh, yeah.
In your first game and seeing everybody. How was that relatable?
It's just as nerve wracking, obviously. Going against a good Glen Rose team, who their quarterback was a very special player. We knew that going in, but probably the same amount of nervousness.
Right. Okay.
Just walking up there, getting
That's
ready.
fair.
And you know what else is the same? Whether it was varsity high school football or coaching high school football, mom and dad were still in
Always. They're always there. Mom and
that's
dad are
awesome.
always there.
Yeah.
I saw them right after the game, and of course they were escorting grandkids.
Oh, yeah.
They were back in the car.
That's their new job. They're always busy. They don't get to watch as much. They're kind of chasing around.
They were great.
They are.
Awesome to learn.
They are.
Glen Rose came to town, and Glen Rose is kind of always a tough team to
They are,
play.
they are.
They're always coached fairly well, and they've got, not fairly well, but they're always coached well, and good athletes and so forth. On the offensive and defensive side, from week one to playing against Glen Rose, what do you think our progression was there?
A lot. I know Coach Howard came on here, and last week he preached consistency. That's kind of what our message was throughout the whole week. We definitely did that for a half. We kind of showed up that first half, and we had some big plays, and DeLong had his big runs, and the offense kind of got clicking, and then we had some big stops on defense. But just trying to put it all together, and trying to play 4 quarters instead of 2. Really, I think that a lot of times the first week we weren't even there. At least this week we were there, and now we just got to make the play. And just continue to grow and, play together and be more consistent, I guess, is what we got to continue to do.
So, we improved in all 3 phases from last week. Yeah, you can see it. Everybody with those improvements on special teams, offense, defense, everything looked better. Can you pinpoint what you feel was a shortcoming that we had, in the second half there?
Defensively, for sure, 3rd and 4th down.
Yep. Okay.
We got them to 3rd down a lot, and they converted 7, 3rd downs, and then 4th down they were 3 out of 4 on 4th down converting. So we made the stops, got them to the 3rd down to 4th down, but we just couldn't get off the field. They just couldn't find a way to get off the field, and so that's what we got to really work on is get them to that 3rd and 4th down, and then find a way. Somehow somebody got to make the play. We got to get to the ball a little bit faster and get off the field and give our offense back the ball. And as a team, we just collectively got to do a better job. And offense has got to continue to roll, and we got to continue to play better on defense and not be bad at the same time. And when one of them's down, the other one's got to kind of pick it up a little bit.
Right, and so we don't have a lot of kids that play both sides of the ball.
Right.
Luckily this year, right?
Right.
We have that luxury, I guess. And so, was that something that you offensive guys are saying, defensive guys like, get us off the field, or
no, and you try
get
not
us
to
the
do
ball.
that. But we try to talk about building it. We're all in this thing together. Whether you're offense, defense, it don't matter.
Right.
It's if you're on defense and your job. If you're on the field, do your job, and if you're not on the field, then you should be cheering on the offense. If we're not making corrections, and kind of giving them that energy, because we always say energy is contagious for everybody. So
Absolutely.
if they feel that, then maybe they can get rolling. We can do our part from the sideline, but definitely trying to put together a full team collaborative effort to go out there on Friday night and find a W.
Kind of the tough question that I'm looking at. You mentioned the 3rd and 4th downs, not being able to get off the field on those. And Glen Rose did pick a couple of 4th down plays to go for it. Do you think that was more attributed? We touched base on their quarterback and his athleticism. Was it because they had the confidence in that quarterback and what he could do on the 4th downs, or did they feel that we're still a young team and they could take advantage of that in a situation on 4th downs?
I really don't. I don't know. I think it's probably a little bit of both. He's a special player. He really is.
He runs behind. He's not that big, but he runs behind those pads, doesn't he?
I personally went find him after the game. I just told him, I said, I love how you played the game because he plays it right.
Right.
But definitely, we knew the ball was going to go in his hands, and there was a few times that we were there, and he just kind of lowered his pads and got lower than we did. And we got to continue to get better and just find a way to swarm the ball a little bit more and get a couple more people there and drive them back. So we do have some youth, and that was some of it, but we definitely got to continue to work on us and get better at us. So,
like you said, you went and congratulated him after the game. In my opinion, Coach Howard congratulated him before the game last week. He just told us, when we asked him what to expect from Glen Rose, first thing he keyed in on was the quarterback. He doesn't run from anybody.
No, he does not.
He throws the ball well, runs behind his shoulder pads,
Sir.
and he's not afraid to put the game on his shoulder.
No, and they know that too. And you look at those 4th downs. I mean, he carried the ball a lot.
You knew what was coming, right?
Did.
But you didn't know which direction. It was
Yeah.
not that that's a shot at the defense.
Yeah.
They ran that very well.
Yeah, we were there. But we just got, like I said, we just got to find a way. Somebody's got to make that tackle in his legs, and we got to get some more people to the football.
Well, with that being said, we got Lorena's going to be here
Yes.
Friday night. It's always good playing against Lorena. They're kind of like fit into that category of a rival school.
Were they in your district when you?
They were, yes,
See,
sir.
when I was in school, they were in our
Yeah,
district
we've
every
always
year.
played the
I
arena.
I
It's
despise them,
yeah.
like from my core. In my core, it's deep down. It's like China Spring.
Yeah.
You know, and I may not be able to say all that, but I'm telling you, if you're an alumni, you know who you don't like,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
They don't you?
Yes,
They
you do.
fit that bill.
That's just healthy competition.
That's it.
Well,
That's it.
Everybody, whenever you were in high school, you had those teams that you're like, yeah, let's play them.
yeah.
Play 'em.
No, they're on the list, and we hadn't played them in some years, so it's it's a nice welcome back to this.
It is.
Get that rivalry back going and beat the
it-
brakes off of them,
this
right?
is going to be a
playing.
second home
Yep.
game. This is going to be a second home game consecutively. So, do you think that's a little bit of maybe momentum builder for the guys being able to stay home for a couple of weeks in a row?
I mean, I think so. It's always, anytime you can play at home, it's definitely an advantage. Like I said, with us, I go on the road early to Atlanta. That was a long trip. That's a long bus trip. And we got there. And
It's a long trip.
it is. It's a long trip. And so playing at home is definitely, gives you some advantages. And it's, playing up there at our field's a special place. And our fans do a great job. So, yeah, I think we do have, I won't say advantages, but that is momentum to carry into the week is playing at home 2 games in a row.
Well, what we want to do is we want to let the folks know, that game will be going on. Kickoff is at 7:30. I'd like to remind everybody the tickets were on sale last night. They're on sale tonight, also until 7 p.m., I believe. And then there will be tickets on sale tomorrow. And just keep in mind, follow the guidelines and restrictions on it. There's only so many tickets that are going to be allotted for the stadium due to COVID requirements and guidelines that we have to follow. We'd like to remind everybody, when you're in the stadium, you got to wear a mask. So we don't want to get slapped on the hand or spiked.
Yeah, if you don't wear the mask, eventually you're going to lose fans. So
That's right,
we don't want that. We want
big deal.
everybody that can come to come watch the game. So just respect the rules and wear your mask.
If you don't, you get kicked out of the stadium. You have to figure out how to work YouTube.
And then you're going to have to listen to us the entire time. So
That's right. And Josh screams.
apparently I yell, according to the Glen Rose fans. So
And then, once again, just to kind of recap, I did have a little bit of conversation with Coach Howard, and he said he was really proud of the way the boys responded to their change from week 1 to week 2, and he looks forward to seeing how they and hope that they step up and continue that progress to this next game coming up. So y'all set the bar in the first half last week.
Mhm.
So we need to follow through with
We're gonna
both
try.
halves this week.
We're going to try. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
So we got to go
All
out there
right.
and execute.
And hey, just real quick, it's that time of the show where we're going to finish up with Coach Hurd, and then we're going to shift over here
Oh, no.
to Coach Weber. Wow. And but the closeout question, and I had a question written down here, but you know what? It got the better of me, and I'm going to have to change to a backup question. So, in perspective, we know that we've got a whole lot of new coaches there, and you're not the only Coach Hunter on the team.
That is true.
That is true. Okay, he answered the first part pretty well.
I'm good, yeah.
Yeah, so if we compared both Coach Hunters,
Oh,
which
no.
one is the better Coach Hunter?
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to be careful because I think he's going to come on the show eventually. So I need to make sure.
That's probably right.
He gets
This
to
is
finish
just
on second,
he's just
so-
setting you up
Yeah, so if
for this. So
I was going second, it may be a different answer.
he
But since I'm
thinks
going
about
first,
this stuff,
The other
right?
Coach Hunter is a little bit.
He's a little bit stocky. He's a little bit stocky. I think we both have our qualities that make us different and unique. Let's say that.
Who's older?
I'm older.
You're older. Okay. That was the older brother answer, right?
Uh,
Little brother's going to get the same
Yeah, he's
question
gonna
most
come in with
likely.
some
Yeah,
jab. He's gonna have
absolutely,
some jab.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
know that,
yeah,
right?
that's fine.
If it's anything like my siblings, that's how that
That's
goes.
fine.
Like I told you, the secret question you can make a squirrel.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Anyway, we appreciate you being here,
Yes,
Coach
sir.
Hunter, and we look forward to Friday night. And now, our new first-year head volleyball coach, correct?
yes.
How about that?
Yeah.
Following in the footsteps.
Hey, I didn't know that you had taken over the head volleyball coach.
Yeah,
Like
we just found out.
I just
I
found
did.
out. I was just like, I was like,
before we went on the air, folks.
so yeah, that's how I know I am. But congratulations,
Thank you.
right?
So,
Thank you.
More informed commentator, maybe?
You sent the name. I have her name wrote down right here. You sent it in a text, so I wrote it down as Janey Weber. You're the one who messed that up. So
The bloopers haunt you.
I'm gonna keep my head held really high right now for this. Okay.
Well, just to recap, real quick, we mentioned that y'all just came back. Y'all went to La Vega last night. You got to go beat them in their house.
We did.
That's always kind of just
It is.
a little bit. That puts you up on a pedestal a little bit. Which moves your record to 10-3 right now. So tell us, how does that feel?
Feels pretty good. The girls have come a long way just from the beginning of the season to now. And I told them yesterday against La Vega, even our first game and a half wasn't the best. We still managed to pull it out and get it together, but the third game they really came in and kicked it in. So it does. It feels good to see all the hard work that they've put in come to play.
Well, before we get into a lot of the some of the questions that we're going to ask, I want to pose the same thing to you. Tell us a little bit what you've done since you graduated from here at Gatesville High School, prior to coming back and then eventually becoming the head volleyball coach.
So I went to college. I played volleyball at Drury University and then ended up transferring to University of Central Arkansas, where I graduated, got my degree. We moved back to Texas after that, Thomas and I did, and I worked for Texas A&M AgriLife for 3 years, doing like health and nutrition stuff, and then I came back to teaching and coaching because I knew that was what I wanted to do. I felt like that was just my calling. I felt like I wanted to be here, and I knew I wanted to be at Gatesville. And I was actually telling my girls that I applied for a job at Lorena, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, I hate them. Y'all were talking about the rivalry.
See?
And I was like, I just hate them so much. I can't do it. And I was like, I have to be at Gatesville. If I'm coaching, like, I have to be at Gatesville.
It would be hard to coach against Gatesville,
Yes,
right, as an
it
alumni.
would.
Right, I
Yes.
see that. That's,
Strong dislike.
It is.
It is. But it feels good to be back home.
Yeah.
It does.
Well, so it's, I guess with all of that being said, it's safe to say that you kind of like volleyball.
I kind of like volleyball. I do. I enjoy it a lot. I've been around it my whole life. So it's been fun.
right, and we always loved, Ricky, before he was AD as a volleyball coach. It was always great to do the playoff games and talk to him, and it's a big legacy, right? It's a big tradition to live up to. How do you feel about that? Is that
lot of
does that play in
pressure.
your, is that some pressure? Okay.
A lot of pressure, if I'm being honest. I mean, you can see everything that he's done for the Gatesville volleyball program, Gatesville athletics in general. And so I carry that. And to me, that it makes me work harder because I feel like I have so much to live up to. And I don't want to let him down. I don't want to let my girls down, me. And so I push myself every day to make sure I'm doing my part to make the program, what it needs to be.
Yep. I can't see your question, so I hope I didn't steal your question that you had there. That just popped into my head, so I spit it out. Well, it's a little scripted, and normally, here's the truth. Normally I can see Lee's questions too, and I can't see Lee's questions tonight, so I just kind of threw that one out
I
there.
split them up to try to keep you from confused and overlapping the questions. I confuse Josh
I know.
no matter what.
No, I know. Well, so I'm gonna throw a bloop right here real quick. I'm normally the even numbers. I'm 2, 4, and 6, right?
Right. Yeah, the computer just didn't like it.
I'm 2, 4, and 5 on the front one. So.
Pardon his interruption.
Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry. Here we go.
Y'all are good.
So what can you what can you tell listeners that would motivate them to watch Hornet volleyball in person or on Hornet Vision?
These girls that are out there from all levels, most of them have been going since June 8th. Since we started summer workouts, they've been putting in the time. And if you come out and watch them, you'll see they're fun to watch. They're a really fun group to watch. And even when they get in their slumps, they find a way to just pick it back up and go. And like y'all were talking about Courtney Matthews and Jenna, I mean, it's not just those two. I mean, it's the entire team that they're all go-getters. And if you come watch them, you'll see they're pretty fun. It's a lot of fun.
And you just hit an interesting point there. You said it's not just Jenna and Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you this. Whenever I was looking back, reviewing the game, just watching everything and how I felt about the game and what the players did, I had the hardest time choosing who I thought were just the two standout players because everybody played that well. I mean, you got Miss Toms there. She's just setting some of the sets she did in the game.
Which Toms is it? It's
Tasha.
Tasha. Okay.
And I've been to enough and called the names enough. I pretty much got them
Do you? I got to show up a little bit, I guess.
Yes, there's another Matthews on the team. So, you know, there's a lot going on. But anyway, back to Tom's. Tom's was doing some sets in the games that I was just like, how did she do that? I mean, she was doing back sets with her back turned to who she was setting for and set the most beautiful on the net spike. I'm like, that's a lot of practice that goes into that, a lot of dedication, a lot of effort. So, you know, and then there were Gilbreth had some great plays in the game. Then we got Mullins, which is new to the team, but she's doing fantastic. You know, just all around. And then this is a new one for here, the Barrow.
Every year we have to go over this. Every year we do playoff volleyball. I said, so what is the girl that wears the different color shirt? What do we call her again? Thank you, Lee. Paybacks are teetotal, you know.
But she's doing a very nice job. And you know,
who is the Barrow?
It's
Maddie Ward.
Maddie Ward. Oh, I know Maddie. Okay.
And she, you know, she's got good hustle. You know, and what happens when you play the Barrow position? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a player that ends up doing a lot of digging on the court. They are on the ground.
They're just always right. Okay.
Because usually they're behind the front line, you know, and a lot of the shots that are coming over the net, girls, you know, they're the ones that are having to dig it out and they try to keep it in play for the rest of the team.
Okay. Thank you,
Learning
Lee.
something new every day.
I knew it. See, I've asked the last 2 years, but I didn't have to ask this time because I remembered it. But I'll never get credit for that, so it's okay, Lee. It's okay.
Just one of the last questions that I have for you. You know, coming in, not only being the new head coach this year, but we've had a lot of changes, obviously, that have gone on. What have been some of the challenges that you as the coach and the girls have had to face and deal with and overcome to be able to play volleyball this year?
I feel like at one point, I'm sure everyone was just like, are we going to have a season? Just thinking, are we going to get to play? And that's what I just kept telling them over summer. I said, no matter whether you think we are or we aren't, you got to prepare like we are. And so, and like I said, majority of them have been coming since June 8th, and they have been working their tails off getting to where they are. So I feel like that's the biggest challenge was just, you know, getting there, making sure we were going to have a season. And we were talking about wearing masks and following all those rules, and that's something we push with athletes. Like, being healthy right now, that's how we get to play. So we have to make sure we're doing our part in wearing our mask and social distancing.
Was there any talk at one time of having to wear a mask during the game? I mean, was that being considered
Not
at one time?
during, no.
No.
Our athletes on the bench and everything have to, coaches and everyone on the bench, but not while you're playing.
And I think that I do remember some of the, back during the summertime when they were talking about this prior to school starting, I think that there was some talks in that, you know, how would that happen? How would that go down?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
I can't imagine running off the field or the court and then having to put your mask up first thing, right? You're tired, you're gassed, and then I wear mine when I'm at work, and I dislike it strongly, and I just can't imagine having to do that after sweaty and after being on the football field competing.
Whether it's coming off the field or coming off the court, I mean, sometimes depending on how the game's going, you're already like, you want me to put a mask on? Give me an oxygen mask.
Yeah. As a commentator, I couldn't wear one because I yell and talk. As a coach, I just couldn't imagine having to do that.
The way he
it's
yells,
just.
his mask would look like a hot air balloon.
Come on. Okay. I feel those kidney shots. I just took them right here.
You know, that's one of the reasons that I love Josh as my co-host is the excitement that he helps bring to the game, and you know, no matter what game it is. Let me tell you something. As much as he perceives that he doesn't know about us, you would not believe how excited he gets when we're doing the playoff volleyball games. We're doing soccer games. A lot of times during the soccer games, he's just looking at me going.
You know, the soccer games, I don't, you know, it's not as exciting to me. We have a great soccer program, have great success every year. And I've just never been a soccer player or a volleyball player. But I'm telling you, the first time we did a playoff volleyball game, we were sitting down there, and I was just like, we had a great time. And every time that we go do the games live, I love it. The action is great. It's always exciting. It's a fast pace, and I love it. So, you know, I'll always go and be a fan and try and keep up with the right terminology. So I had a cheat sheet from Ricky one year. He emailed a cheat sheet. I was like, I don't know what to say when they hit the ball. Is it a spike? Is it a, unless it was a kill. Can you say kill on the radio? You know, we have so many rules around here, so. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
He is, and it gets exciting for him, you know, especially when we're in some of those playoff games, and we get a volley going that seems like it lasts for minutes at a time, you know.
Yes.
It's no telling how many touches going back. And Josh is like, it's still going.
I run out of words. I mean, that's not common that I run out of words, but I run out of words. My favorite part is when they hit the ball at Lee. I'm just telling you, when somebody misses it and they hit it at Lee, that's my favorite part.
No, you're laughing, but here's the scenario, you know, prior to having live streaming video, we've had volleyball games where, and I think you may have seen us a time or two, where we've been at the playoff game, and they have no place to put us except at the back corner of the court.
Yes.
You know? And
Coming in hot,
That's
man.
a danger zone right there.
Yes.
now, it has its pros and cons. The pros are we can see the sidelines and we can see the baseline really clear. So if we have a disagreement with the call, I think we got a bird's eye view.
Right.
But with that same thing being said, there has been a time or two that a volleyball has come in hot.
At least like this, blocking the laptop, like, bah! Just because it's about to crash down.
Punching the volleyball before it hits the laptop, you know.
Yeah.
We couldn't have that happen.
You gotta tell those blockers to do their job at the net. And that
I'm
won't
saying,
happen.
Coach.
But the thing was, it was the opponents that had their backs to us.
They probably did it on purpose.
Yeah, they didn't like it when we yelled at them to
That's
do
why they're
that.
coming in so
Yeah.
hot is because it was the Gatesville girl.
It was frowned upon.
But anyway, you know, I hope you've enjoyed being on the show tonight. You know, we always have a good time when we're on here, and we love talking about all of the sports that are going on. And I'm really happy that we can start incorporating volleyball in this.
Oh, absolutely.
Bringing basketball and some of the other sports in. And I hope that we can bring more awareness and attention to the girls. Now, I've traveled with volleyball a lot over the years, and when they make the playoffs, you know, they do travel a lot and stuff. But you know, we want everybody to give as much attention as they can to it and try to get interested in something new. You know, these sports are exciting no matter what.
Really, if you,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole time I was in high school, I remember watching a volleyball game, right? And now I enjoy watching volleyball games. Like it is, it's exciting and it's competitive. And you know, if you enjoy sports, you'll enjoy watching our girls play volleyball.
And they're very successful. They
are very successful. Good.
That's a good program.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I
Coach
think they're
Hunter.
on the second sleeve, right?
Very successful.
And, so this coming Friday night, we will be playing
Robinson.
That's right, Robinson. And
Another one that we
Another
don't
one.
like,
Yes.
alum. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. There's another one that we strongly dislike.
They fall in the competitive wheelhouse there, right?
Yes, they
We
were.
do.
They were there.
And what time will that game be played?
Varsity's at 4:30 this Friday.
4:30. So you are going to be able to take care of business, beat Robinson, and make it over.
And then go support football.
Go support football, whether it be in person or on.
So we need to tell the football players to make sure they're supporting volleyball the nights they can, right?
They go a lot. I think a bunch of them do. They go
Yeah.
Saturday.
They do.
They have a
keep
section
track,
there.
actually, yeah, they-
Good.
To my left, where I sit in the bleachers, to my left, there's usually
You have a crew.
bunch of 'em.
Awesome.
there's
Good.
a good number of football players up there, and they're
There are.
supporting the young ladies there. So if you're looking for a lot of Gatesville sports this Friday night, 4:30, you can come here to the newly named Sidney L. Pruitt basketball
Yes, sir.
gym, volleyball gym. It's a volleyball gym right now. It's not a basketball gym.
It's a gymnasium.
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 I
Just
like
call
that.
it gymnasium.
Yeah. Anyway, and see Coach Weber and her team as they continue on with their wins. And once you get done with that, then you can turn your attention to some football. Just make it an all-night event for Friday night.
Let's just have a clean sweep Friday night. How about that? Right?
Sounds
Let's go for
good.
that.
That would be nice.
Sounds
I would take
good.
that. I would
Absolutely.
take that.
And as always, you'll be able to catch me and Josh on YouTube. We will be going live at 7:15 p.m. For the game against Lorena. Between Lorena and Robinson in the same night.
It's a good night for a couple of Gatesville dubs.
Yes, it is.
Good enough for the Hornets.
Yeah.
But as we close out our show tonight on the fifth quarter, you know, you're not going to be immune to this. I have to throw the question out there.
I was hoping you forgot.
No, I live for this
Yes, he
question.
loves them. Listen, he thinks about it all week.
As we pointed out to everybody, you
years. He's called him the chemist.
What is it going to be like for young Janey to fill those shoes?
I mean, like I said earlier, a lot of pressure right now, and that's one of the things I tell the girls in that gym. You can just see volleyball banner after volleyball banner after volleyball banner, and I'm like, that right there, it means something. You know, our expectations and the tradition, like, it should mean something to you, to me, to, you know, a lot of people. And filling those shoes is something I take really personally. I do. And to me, he's one of the best coaches that I've ever played for, that I've been able to coach with. And so it's a lot.
You'll have
lot,
talks.
I'm not going to lie.
She can still come over for dinner.
Yeah. But I feel comfortable and good that I can, you know, he's there for me to go ask him and talk to him about anything. If I'm struggling or need help with anything, I know that I can go to him and he'll be #1 fan, super supportive, help me with whatever I need.
I have to tell you, from my personal opinion there, that's impressive to be a head coach, is whenever just because you're a head coach doesn't mean that you can't go ask for advice.
Right.
So that's kudos to you on that.
Big points.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Always ask for help.
Yeah, and it's almost like one of those things you want to point out to the girls, like you said. You look at all of those banners and what those girls did, and you just turn around and look at them and say, now what are you gonna do? You know, like that one.
Yeah.
Well, good job. Hey, that was good. That was nice. I like that one. Good job. All right.
Pretty good speech, right?
Absolutely.
Pretty good speech.
Hey, I've got one announcement here. Kyle Straminska, everybody knows, he's got some health issues. He got to go home today from the hospital. I talked to his mother earlier. They are having a benefit on October 3rd from 12 to 6 at Stone Ridge Ranch at 1808 Bridge Street, Gatesville. They're going to have barbecue plates for $10, fall photos. There's going to be a cornhole tournament. It starts at 1. There's a silent and live auction, and there's going to be live music. Now, I know that Kyle's mother's been calling around local businesses to get donations. If you would like to donate to this, and I was trying to call Mandy before I came up here to see if I could pass her phone number out. I'm going to wait until I hear from her. If you're a business owner, individual, anybody, if you want to donate something for that auction, call me or text me or Lee. My phone number is 254-223-1642.
254-216-3574.
And we will get you in contact with Mandy, and you can make your donation on October 2nd. Her sister's going to go around picking up all the stuff from local businesses that's being donated. So this is just to help the medical bills that they're going to have traveling to MD Anderson. It's going to go a long way. Listen, Kyle's one of ours, right? I coached him in youth sports years ago, right? We called him Twinkie.
I still remember that first day that he walked up to the registration desk, and I looked up at him, and I was like, wow, this kid's getting ready to go.
Yeah, you can't play with your classmates.
He was in the was it third grade?
Third grade. Yep.
Wow.
And he had to play with 5th and 6th graders as a third grader.
I looked at him, and I was like, you're a good-sized fella. I said, well, what position do you like to play? You remember that?
Yeah.
What position do you
I
like
do.
to play? It doesn't matter as long as I get to hit people.
We really like that. That's what I like to hear right there.
And to this day, that's still one of my favorite things that I ever had a player say to me. Right there, I was like, that is a ball player.
Yep.
So
anyways,
anyway,
we're gonna keep making this announcement. Y'all tune in. There'll be more to come. I'm gonna be there on October 3rd.
Yep.
There'll be a lot more about that.
And so everybody be Kyle Strong.
Kyle Strong.
There you go. Friday night, 4:30 p.m. Gatesville versus Robinson. 7:30 p.m. Gatesville versus Lorena. We'll be there. And once again, this is Josh Godfrey and Lee Jaynes saying good night. God bless.
This portion of Hornet Radio is being brought to you by Velvet Impressions, a proud supporter of Hornet Athletics. Velvet Impressions, the t-shirt lady meeting all of your screen printing needs. You can call Velvet at 254-216-9035 or email to velvetimpressions@yahoo.com.
Don't tell them I said that, but still ask get somebody else in here.
Thank you. Good to see you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
I hope y'all had fun.
Yes, sir. It was good.
No, I just got off we just did the 5th quarter show with Hornet Radio, and I just made the announcement about the benefit. And I said I want to make sure that it was okay if I gave out your phone number for. But I went went and gave mine and Lee's phone numbers and just ask any local business or individual if they wanted to donate to let us know, and then we would let you know.